So, Helluva Boss has a new pilot. A completely new one. And if you watched my reactions to the Helluva Boss show, you know that I did look at the very original pilot from way back when, and I didn't care much for it. Like, not in the sense that it's necessarily terrible as such, just that it was very much a thing that was like, it's essentially a glorified Newgrounds Flash cartoon, right? Like that's very much what it was. That's what it was pitched at. That was the level that it wanted to operate on. Was that this is a Newgrounds cartoon, so lots of violence, lots of non sequiturs, lots of Family Guy cutaways, lots of like non sequitur jokes and like just edgy bullshit, and no actual coherent plot, right? No actual coherent plot, no storyline, just jokes, and some characters that are sort of vaguely sketched, mostly in service of making jokes possible to have happen, right? It was not good, but it was the kind of thing that if I'd been 14 and browsing Newgrounds, I would have been absolutely fucking mind blown by. Like, we used to watch Foamy the Squirrel, right? Like, that's the level we're operating at there. Like, very much on the level of something like Foamy the Squirrel or Happy Tree Friends. It's on that wavelength, right? That is very much not what Helluva Boss eventually turned out to be. When the actual show came into full production, they began very, very quickly transforming it, like, into essentially a soap opera, right? Like, I've called it this many times before. It is a romantic soap opera at its heart. It has a lot of edgy humor. It has a lot of, like, brain-poisoned internet irony, like edgelord bullshit also shoved in there. But it is, at its heart, a very emotional, melodramatic soap opera. That's the functional thing, what it is. And that's a transformation that happened gradually over the course of season 1, and then season 2, that's completely what it was, more or less, right? They still have the spirit of the Newground shitpost in the shorts, which I approve of, but the pilot was not really, like, the pilot was and remains a very bad introduction to what Helluva Boss even is, right? Helluva Boss as a show has very little to do with what the pilot used to be. So they decided to go and fix that now that they've been picked up by Amazon. Which now Amazon gets to have their fucking logo slapped in front of all the Helluva Boss episodes. Isn't that fun? Love to see Jeff Bezos' face all over everything. Hooray. But, you know. So they've made a new pilot. One that is supposed to be a much more, like, accurate introduction and a much more functional introduction to the show that Helluva Boss actually is, right? So let's see how they do.
We're up to no good. Yeah, this is what we do.
We are no good for society.
We're shady. People don't like us. For a reason, though.
I'm stealing candy from babies.
Yeah. You think I'm scared of you? I hate Christmas, okay? Tells you everything you need to know.
I'm stealing babies.
From candy? Okay, so all right, we are. That's an interesting opening bit. We're shady. People don't like us. There's something Bruce Timm-ish about this guy in particular, the way that he's designed. There's something Batman the Animated Series about this dude. Partly the eyes, I think. But also the way that his mouth is animated feels kind of that kind. Is he doing a West Side Story thing? Is that what he's trying to do? Snapping? Yeah, he's doing a West Side Story thing. Jesus Christ.
I hate Christmas, okay? Tells you everything you need to know.
I'm stealing babies.
All right, so we all know how things go, right? Humans on Earth do some pretty fucked up shit, and then they die and they end up in hell. And sinners all have an idea of what imps are, right? We're little red guys with pitchforks torturing their souls for all eternity. Well, that's fucking outdated.
Okay, so very good. This is one thing that a pilot is usually supposed to do, right? It's supposed to do world building and explain how the universe of a show works, right? It's supposed to bring the audience into what's happening. That's something the pilot of Helluva Boss does not do and does not care to try to do. The only bit of actual sort of backstory world building that really exists in the original pilot is the song, right? Like if you want somebody to call the immediate murder, like that's basically it. That's like all you really get in terms of stage setting, and then from there it's just like and that makes Helluva Boss a show that you kind of like, you drop into it and you sort of figure it out as you go along, right? And that's fine. Like, the show is mostly designed to accommodate for that, to make it possible for someone to pick things up as they go along. And then, like, whatever you can't figure out from watching the show, you go to the wiki and they usually have it, right? Make Moxie's Horsona. Oh, there's a lot of fan art of that already, isn't there? I haven't been keeping up. Surely someone must have. But it seems like what they're doing here is like they're very deliberately going, okay, let's do some world building. Let's set some things up. Let's make it possible for people to understand what the fuck's going on and what the world of the show is like.
Most of us are baristas and boring shit, and since we're born here, we kind of got to serve whoever the fuck lands in our backyard. But some of us aim to be a little something more, a little something bigger, something cooler, something, yeah, cooler. So instead of selling them coffee, we're gonna sell them revenge!
What in the fuck is this? Who are you?
The name's Blitz, the O is silent, and I'll be your assassin today. Ah!
Very good. That is a cool... I like this shot. Like the Moxie and Millie crossing over, and then Blitz sashaying his gay little ass forward. Yeah. Well, bi, technically, I guess. Pan? Has anyone ever actually confirmed what he's got going on? I like the sachet. I like the fucking little hip wiggle that he does. And then a lovely foreshortening shot, and then gaboom.
And just like that, we'll slip right back into hell, get paid, and never face any consequences for our actions ever.
This pilot also, like, this is the difference here, of course, is that this is a pilot that is made with the foreknowledge of everything that comes after, right? Like, whereas usually when you make a pilot, you don't really know what's going to happen in the rest of the show because it hasn't been made yet. You're sort of, you're making plans, you're laying down breadcrumbs that you can follow, but you don't really know. This is a pilot that's very conscious of the fact that there is 2 seasons of the show out already, right? So it knows what it's setting up, and it can get cheap laughs out of a line like, we'll get paid and never face any consequences for our actions ever. It can get a laugh line out of that, because we know that there's going to be consequences, but they don't.
It's as for our actions ever. Got any questions? Yes, Millie.
Can I have a cool one-liner too? Like, it's Millie time!
Ooh, that was nice. I love doubling. I love smearing. Look at that. That's excellent. Yeah. Big doubling. What an effective head shake animation. That's really good. Because it's really just like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 5 frames of animation and it looks that smooth. Look at that. That's 5 frames.
Can I have a cool one?
That's really good. Lack of motion blur makes Skyen happy. Yes, I know! It's after watching The Amazing Digital Circus, this is like a balm to my soul. This is like, oh god, I'm back where I belong. 2D animation, I love you, never leave me! I'm excited for Knights of Guinevere. I am very excited for Knights of Guinevere. I'm very excited for The Amazing Digital Circus animators to watch my videos and stop using motion blur! That's not gonna happen, I know, but, you know, a boy can dream. Lots of nice little character animation happening with Millie here, by the way. Like the little one-liner, to lack, and then touch the lip, look up, and then as a little transitionary gesture from here to when she does, it's Millie time. There. That. They just do that. Like, just that little twitch of the eye sets you up to boom. Instant. Like, we instantly pop from here to there. And the only transition that you set up, the anticipation for it is that. That little motion of the eye, and then dish. And that's all you need. Like, in animation, you can sometimes get away with doing amazingly little. Because, like, when you hear people talking about animation, right? You hear them talking about, like, the principles of animation, like anticipation, follow-through, secondary action, etc. Anticipation is basically, before a character does a physical action, you have to anticipate it. They have to set it up. Like, if you're gonna jump, first you have to bend your knees, right? Like, that's anticipation. Anticipation is very fundamental to animation, but anticipation can be very small things. It can be just that. That little flicker of the eye. Like, her tail is also going, right? But that little flicker of the eye, that's enough to set up anticipation for this, where we follow up with the pop, right? Like, she pops, she's inflated, and then she deflates, right? And in a traditional Disney style of animation, you would have a lot more frames in here. You would have a lot more anticipation. You would probably do a lot more, like, she would be rearing back a little bit. Her shoulders would come up. She'd be rearing back, arms raised, and then, boom, Millie time, right? But because that's enough anticipation, you can get away with this. And that is, like, tone matters here, right? You can get away with it because it's comedy, because it's silly comedy nonsense, and it's not serious dramatic acting that's happening here.
Yes,
so tone does a lot there, but it is, like, I like that subtlety. I like that the animator has that knowledge, the ability to go, how much do I need to anticipate this next keyframe? Nothing. I need a flicker of the eye. That's plenty. Right? You can see it. You can, if you're paying attention to the flicker of the eye, you can see it happening, that it's bridging that gap. I love smears. Smears are so good. They're so cool. I just love the fact that smears work, that our eyes are so willing to see this as motion.
Or something.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a me thing. All right, perks of being boss, right? What, you got something to add, Moxie?
Sir, I think you're forgetting some logistical problems, like witnesses. Humans aren't supposed to see us running around on Earth. You told
I like it when Blitz gets to be a lizard. I like it when they really lean into... Because, like, we've talked about this before. Blitz's head is a non-Euclidean object in many ways, right? In the sense that when they're animating him, usually his head is always animated at a 3/4 view of some kind, right? He's very rarely... You very rarely spend a lot of time seeing him straight on, right? You very rarely spend a lot of time seeing him in complex gradiated angles, because his head is very stylized. It's a very stylized set of shapes. So you generally do that, and that allows for the opportunity to, when the animator wants to do it for comedy, we go, oh no, let's interpret Blitz's head shape literally. He's a fucking lizard. He has a fucking triangular little lizard beak. Gloik. And you could get so much comedy out of changing the rendering of his head like that, like to make it three-dimensional in a way that it isn't usually. And you can see the movement, right? When we see Blitz here, both of his eyes are rendered flat on the side of his face, basically, right? As though he was facing us directly. That's the way his eyes are drawn. The moment he switches, all of a sudden, oh no, he's got eyes on the sides of his head, right? And then as he comes down, the eyes move. Technically, they are sliding around over the volume of his face. They're sliding from left to right and separating and coming back together. But because, if you pay attention, because this eye's position remains relatively consistent as we come down, you don't read it as a physical transformation. You don't see it as like, oh, his body is changing shape. You just see the comedy beat.
to see us running around on Earth.
And of course, frog blink, because who doesn't love a frog blink?
You told me we were going to run this assassination business like professionals. You even put it in the company name. And on the billboard. And in the jingle.
Oh, are we getting the jingle?
got somebody gone and you don't want to wait too long, call the immediate murder professional.
Oh, come on, baby.
Oh, we're not getting the whole thing? Aw.
You dick. You really think sinners in hell actually care about...
Oh, another lovely bit of stylized motion. That's fantastic. Again, managing... This is another thing about like the character designs of the imp characters. The horns, right? It's always a thing with the characters that the horns are a big part of their silhouette, right? It's a big part of their recognizability. Moxie needs his little, like, leaning backwards, pointed up horns the way that he does. Millie needs her little goat horns, like, poking directly out of her head. It's a big part of her silhouette. It's a big part of the recognizability of her character. That also means that when you're rotating these characters' heads, right? When you're moving them in 3D space, when you're trying to get them to feel like they are physical presences in the world, you have to do a lot of management. You can see them doing that here with Blitz's horns, right? You see how Blitz's horn here goes all the way down and connects to his skull, basically next to his eyebrow, until he turns his head a little bit, and you can see how the horns are not reacting like actual 3D objects. They're sort of sliding and morphing across the volume of his skull to match the stylization of the image, right? And that's something the animators constantly have to do with these demon characters and their horns, because you have to preserve the silhouette. The silhouette has to be readable. The horns have to not be interfering with like the outlines or creating tangents with a bunch of other things in the scene. They have to have like a presence in the depth of space that you're working with. And so you have to do all this warping of the actual shape and volume and how they actually connect to things and where they sit. And it's the anime hair problem, right? Like, it's the same way that in Dragon Ball, when Goku turns his head from left to right, his hairstyle doesn't change. His hairstyle doesn't rotate. It just sort of flips and swaps from side to side, because there are certain things in stylization that you have to do in order to manage this shit and make it doable on an animation perspective and make it readable to an audience. So for a slow head rotation from Blitz like this, you can see the warping that the animators have to do to the volume of those horns so that they read correctly, even if what's actually happening is that the horns are shrinking and growing in really weird ways and changing how they connect to his skull. But you just kind of smooth it out so that it fits, right?
We're going to...
And that's what's happening here. That's why I keyed in on this shot, right? Is we have Blitz doing this, right? To start with, this, like, lean back, all this fucking curve of the horns all the way down here. And then he has to lean up, right? He has to go from here to here. And we really just kind of snap past that without any interstitial transitional frames, both because of the timing, but also because we're switching from one kind of stylizing his head shape, where it's kind of a droplet shape here, into now it's much more of like a rectangular, right?
Care about professionalism. All our clients really want is to make sure the people they hate get what's coming to them.
Speaking of, how are we supposed to get to Earth to kill these guys? It's not exactly easy.
Here's another setup shot. A pregnant one, too, if you know something about... pregnant, why did I say that? A bit of storytelling, right? That Millie speaks up, like, Moxie is upset at Blitz for not having a better plan, and then Millie, like, little hand on his, he looks over, he's so in love, he's so horny, one of the two, kind of the same thing. And then we get this shot where, like, in the foreground, we're very conspicuously going, these two are together, they're super together. You see how they're holding hands? They're holding hands because they're together. And then Blitz is conspicuously alone, right? Like, it's little things. It's little things that sort of set up the character dynamic between them.
It's not exactly easy.
For your information, little miss, I have been reading. Yep, I managed to get my little red paws on this, okay? It's our ticket straight to the human world.
Sir, that's a sigil. Does that belong to a demon prince? You can't just... How did you even...
A good boss never reveals his secrets.
He's so pleased with himself. definitely profile picture alert on that one. That's very good.
You can't just... How did you even...
But again, like, this, like, the pilot here, you can see that the objective of the pilot, the whole, again, this is one of the advantages of, because the pilot was made after the show, the only function of it, like, where a normal pilot is kind of like a pitch for the show, right? It's like, hey, if we get to make this TV show, these are the kinds of episodes you'll get. This is the kind of cool stuff. This pilot, so far, seems much more, is much more about, okay, what if the whole pilot was just about creating setup for the show that we've already made, right?
A good boss never reveals his secrets, okay?
Here's another lovely warp. You can see it again here, how, like, they're implying a rotation just by warping the shape of Blitz's head. And that's the power of the stylization. Like, people talk shit about Vivienne Medrano's design style all the time, but the reason Vivienne Medrano designs characters the way that she does, outside of, like, just her personal proclivities, is because she's an animation student. Like, she was an animation student first and foremost, and she created character designs that were really fun and, like, dynamic to animate. That's part of the reason why, like, I have, one of my criticisms of Helluva Boss is there's too many fucking skinny characters all the time, right? The characters are all skinny, they're all lanky, they're all tall. Like, it's such a default, and it's kind of boring that, like, all of the characters that kind of share a body type like that, so many of them do anyway, right? But part of the reason for that is because when you have these very tall, lanky characters with long horns and long tails and all of that, what you can do is you can create incredibly expressive flowing S-curves and action lines through the volumes of those characters. And, like, you can be very, very, very expressive with it, which is something that Vivienne Medrano, like, if you look at her personal art, is genuinely very good at. She has these extremely expressive approach to, like, keyframes and to posing and posturing, which is enabled by the design style that she's using. That doesn't negate the criticisms that I have, but, like, there's a reason for it, right? Like, and you can see some of that happening with the character designs here. How warpable, how changeable, especially Blitz is in his comedy scenes, is in large part enabled by the way that he's character designed. Like, so much stylization is enabled by his weird facial anatomy. His eyes can warp and they can change location on his head very freely, very easily in order to enable his expression because his head is so stylized. It's very effective.
Secrets, okay? But I will say it involved a bunch of lube and a well-placed load of man chowder.
And a demon of the Arscoetia just gave it to you after that.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Jeez, for the love of Satan, I can't believe you dicked down a member of the demon royalty.
Yes, Hermes. Yes, you can come in. Baby boy. Why are you yowling, huh? He's yowling because my door is closed. Oh. Are we spotting something? Oh, he's seeing something. Is there a bird? Oh, there's a bird outside the window. Oh, he's staring. Oh, he's staring at it. Oh, it flew away. Okay. He's having a good time, little cat. Anyway. Moxie's little freak out here is lovely. Someone got to spend a lot of time on this. You know my love of head shakes. I do love a good head shake. Here again, anticipation and follow-through, right? Like, anticipation is he squeezes down and then up, budunk. And then follow through is the way that his shoulders follow up, right? Like, full animation on 2D character animation is just so... I've talked about it before. Actually, there's a history lesson that's relevant if you want to know something about animation history, right? TV animation was for a long time dominated by limited animation, right? Like, it was dominated by essentially Hanna-Barbera, Deke, what are they called? Filmation, like He-Man, Scooby-Doo, shows of that nature, right? And those shows were all made on a kind of shoestring budget where you cut as much animation as possible. So the classic thing is with Scooby-Doo characters, I've mentioned this example many times before, but we'll bring it up again. When you're watching Hanna-Barbera characters, notice how almost every single character has some kind of thing in their character design that cuts their neck away from their shoulders, right? Like something that interrupts, like a collar on their shirt, or like just like something that prevents their head and their shoulders from flowing together, because this enables the animators to animate the head when a character is talking, but never animate any other part of their body, right? Like most dialogue in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon is close-ups on the face, and then characters say, ah, bah, 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 and they move their heads, but they don't move any other part of their body, right? That's limited animation. You're animating a limited part of the character, and it's the basic way to save time and money in animation production is to animate less, right? This was dominating TV animation for a very long time until in the 1980s, the Ronald Reagan administration abolished a lot of laws that made it illegal to advertise to children, essentially. The Ronald Reagan administration removed a lot of laws on TV that made it illegal to direct commercial TV towards children. So if you're making a children's cartoon, if you're making fucking whatever, you were not allowed to directly advertise to children using those cartoons. And that meant there was a fairly limited amount of money that you can make off of that shit, right? Like merchandise and shit, obviously, like He-Man got away with it. But there was a limited amount of money you could make with it, and therefore, that's why you got these small-time operators like Hanna-Barbera, like, not small-time, they were huge, but these shows that operated on very low budgets and tried to recover the cost of production mostly through merchandise sale. Then Ronald Reagan removes those laws, like his administration removes those laws, and the floodgates open, and you get this TV cartoon is actually just a toy commercial boom of the late 80s, like especially Star Wars gets in on like this grift. And that changes the landscape of TV animation. It changes it so much. There's so much money in advertising next to children's cartoons now that Disney gets interested. And Disney goes, okay, let's try our hand at TV animation. It wasn't really viable for us. We couldn't really, like, Disney never wanted to put out these shoestring budget, very low rent products because it would tarnish the Disney brand. But with the repeal of those laws, with the revenue potential exploding from advertising next to children's cartoons, that's when you get shows like The Gummy Bears, right? That's when you get shows like Luftenshelde, Tailspin, and The Jungle Book. And like that's when they really start pushing into TV animation with like the Aladdin cartoons and everything. And that's when you get like the influx of full animation into TV animation. Like that's when the quality bar gets raised a lot by Disney, especially entering into the TV animation market, right? And that made full animation viable in TV animation for a good long time, actually. And then we get to the age of streaming, right? Like, then we get to the age of Family Guy. That's sort of the next thing. Like, The Simpsons starts, like, and then we get to the age of the fucking Family Guy shows, right? We get to the age of that style of adult-oriented animation, and we see this retreat from full animation back into these extremely low-budget, limited animation productions. Like, Family Guy characters, when they talk, it's the same thing as Hanna-Barbera characters. Mostly the mouth moves. Maybe they do one or two stock gestures that they repeat over and over again, and that becomes the meta for TV animation for a long time, especially for adult or teenage-oriented TV animation kind of dies and disappears, actually. But especially for adult animation, that sort of becomes the meta. And, like, Cartoon Network pushes back on this. Nickelodeon tries to sort of push back on this a little bit. Like, there's different levels of quality that happens, but limited animation becomes very much the norm, right? And that's when you get into things like the way that anime is usually handled, where most things are done in extremely limited animation, and then you get the Sakuga moment of the season, right? You get these few bits of Sakuga at some point in the season where they concentrate all their budget in, like, one big scene that can, like, really go, whoa, and then, like, the rest of this fucking season is pretty low budget, choppy animation style. One thing I love about Helluva Boss, right? Like, and the point I'm trying to get to by circuitous routes, Helluva Boss is a show aesthetically drawn from that history of animation, right? Like, drawn from the history, especially of limited animation, right? These character styles, these art styles for these characters, a lot of it is drawn from Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and like TV shows and TV animation that operated in that space of very limited animation, right? Like, a lot of the character design is geared towards enabling that kind of limited animation. And so for me, I'm just so tickled that I see these character designs that feel so much like they were designed for that era of very highly limited animation, and then they get to be fully animated like this. Like, there's something, for me personally, I just like that a lot. I like seeing animators playing with the volumes and shapes of these hyper stylized little weirdos and making them move and feel like they are character designs that feel like they're designed for a Family Guy ripoff, right? Like, they feel like they're designed for a Family Guy style of TV animation, but they move at times with animation and a style of animation that I would much more associate with the golden age of Disney TV animation, right? Like, full animation, very expressive, characters warp and deform and change, there's animation smears, we're going all... And this is one of the things I fucking appreciate about Spindlehorse. I so appreciate it about Spindlehorse that it's a studio run by animators, like, founded by an animator, run by animators, in large part, and creatives, who just, like, they love the craft, and they love to practice the craft, they love to do it. This scene of Moxie... all he has to do is get angry and yell at Blitz. There's 500 million ways to cut corners here. There's 500 million ways to do a hyper-stylized, like, yelling angrily, anime-style sort of thing where his head just gets big and goes bop, 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 mouth flap, whatever. There's many ways to do it. That's not what they do. An animator crafts a full performance here. Like head down, like, eyes down, head in his hands, slides the hands down to the front of the face, right? Like, clenches his eyes, then he pops up like that. Like, you get this lovely, look at that fucking line of action there. He pops up, and then he does these little, like, Italian hand gestures. Full animation on the mouth, squash and stretch, deformation in the character model. Lots of changes of angles, like, lots of extreme changes in pose and posture. Look at that bounce he does here, like, from here, down, bounce over there. Full animation, with smears, with squash and stretch, with everything. All the principles of animation at work for something that would have been so easy to cut corners on. And, like, Helluva Boss is not exempt for criticism for its animation. Like, plenty of times, like, it's not always great or perfect, but every time a character is animated in these fucking shows, I feel like I'm watching an animator at work. I'm watching an artist acting. I'm watching an actor give a performance through their animation, and it's... this is what my soul loves about animation. This is what I crave. This is what I adore. Anyway, what were we doing? I think we were watching a TV show or something. What's happening?
Loyalty. Ew.
Hey, Luna.
Ew.
No, whoa, what did I tell you about using that kind of language around Luna? She is just a child!
She's 22.
Thank you! Kind of important to establish. Again, the pilot is like, what's all the stuff that we really want people to actually know for sure, having been stated canonically in the show? Yeah, Luna is an adult. It's important.
Ew.
No, whoa, what did
Blitz and his snake slithering, smothering.
I tell you about using that kind of language around Luna? She is just a child!
She's 22.
Hey, well, she's my child!
Adopted. Let's get your hands off me. I don't know where they've been.
And you don't want to, sweetheart. All right, everyone, new rule, guys. We only use appropriate language in this office from now on, all right? I don't want all right? I don't want to hear no swears, no filth, no fucking potty mouth of any kind. Do you understand?
I'm not a fucking kid, asshole.
Oh, hey, bleepy! Now see what you've done? She learned that from you.
Sir, the F word is literally half of your vocabulary.
Oh, fuck you, you little virgin chode.
Hey, he ain't no virgin. I should know.
Millie?
Again, like, this is... I will say, like, a criticism that it is reasonable to have of this pilot so far is that you can feel how much of it is just about, okay, this is the episode we're gonna make to make it more, like, make the rest of the show more legible. So there's a lot of characters telling each other what they both already know, right? Like, it's the eternal problem of exposition, right? It's like you have to invent a reason for characters in the show to tell each other stuff that everyone in the scene already knows, right? So a good way to do that is to have them have a big screaming argument about it. But it is a little clunky. and it makes scenes flow a little bit clunky because it's like, oh, right, we have to get around to establishing this. We have to get around to establishing that. We have to get around to explaining this thing. And it's like, it's the nature of exposition. And it's what pilot episodes are often good for, right? Because, like, we do it at the start of the show. We don't have to do it again. Just fucking get it in there, set it all up, and then, like, the pilot episode can be a little clunky, and then we can not have to do it for the rest of the show. It's okay, but it is a little bit...
You little virgin chode.
Hey, he ain't no virgin. I should know.
Millie, this is the workplace.
So,
Okay, now it's funny again. Yeah, there we go. Good.
Oh, fuck. Here we go again. Luna, sweetheart, I need you to avert your eyes. This is a horny married couple, and you don't need to see this film.
Ugh, you can stalk the boring breeders later. You have a call.
Really? Now? In the middle of their... Okay, all right. From who?
He said his name was Stolas.
Stolas. I never heard of that. I don't know that name.
Yeah.
It starts out so
Virgin.
fucking sweet, right? Like, so, aw, she's defending her husband, and then
This is the
I like that they let it go on.
workplace.
so,
This fucking teenagers and love little motherfuckers. Look at the way they twirl their fucking tails. It's disgusting. Oh, it's filthy. God, fucking romance and shit. Ew. What a weird perversion to put in this cartoon. Ugh. Don't they know children could be watching this? Romance. Ugh.
so.
No, I like it. It's funny. And I like that it's like, it's set up as this like romantic moment of like, oh, they're a couple, they love each other. And it's like, oh, they're kissing and it's very sweet. And then it goes on for a little bit too long and it starts to get a little weird. And then... and then they just fucking go, right? Like, and this is deliberately very cartoony, right? Like, this is deliberately very, like, oh, that's very sweet. Like, fucking greeting card as wholesome hand-holding little Hallmark card kiss, right? But with the little, added thing that their tails are sort of coming in around the back, right? So that it's Moxie's tail around Millie's back, Millie's tail around Moxie, and then really wrapping around, and then wow. Then we just go for the full fucking fully the meme, like fully the face sucking meme. Yeah. And she just takes him straight into missionary position, basically. Bump. And it's not just, oh, they're not just making out down there, because...
Here we go again. Luna, sweetheart, I need you...
I like that. I like it when shit goes too far and then keeps going too far, right? Like, it's that we have this little romantic scene of like, oh, Millie's defending her husband, and then it goes on a little too long, and then it goes on way too long, and then it goes... I'm so weak to that specific kind of joke.
To avert your eyes. This is a horny married couple, and you don't need to see this film.
Ugh, you can stalk the boring breeders later. You have a call.
Really? Now? In the middle of their... Okay, all right. From who?
He said his name was Stolas.
Stolas. Never heard of that. I don't know that name.
I quite like the character animation on Blitz here as well. Again, there's so much more motion, so much more movement happening in his acting performance here than's really necessary. Right? That little settle, as he says. Right?
Never.
Like, never. There's that little, he goes up here. And then that settle. Like, the whole head is animated. Multiple frames settling into never, and then turning around. Like, there's a lot of acting going on here.
Never heard of that. I don't know that name.
Yeah, well, he knows you, and he sounds pissed.
Hey, Stolas. How are things? Hey, Stolas. How
again, like, again, again, a contrast to the quality of the pilot, but also a contrast to, like, some of the earlier episodes of Helluva Boss. It's like, look how much fucking full animation, like, animating the whole body of the character fully, frame by frame, is happening. Like that, like the fucking little skull pendant, right? Like the trauma pendant from his mother. Look, like, as his chest is puffing up there, they fucking animate that thing rotating along with his performance. That's a lot of effort. You didn't have to do that. Like, it's so excessively more than what the shot really needs. Ah, that's cool. I like that. Like, this... Just, like, if you love animation, like, even if you don't like Helluva Boss, even if you don't like Aspen Hotel, if you don't like Vivian Medrano's character design style or whatever, if you like animation, I feel like the show is worth watching on silent, just to sometimes catch, like, when an animator just gets to do fucking performance on a character. Like, you wouldn't usually get this level of character animation on a scene like this outside of a feature film, right? Like outside of that budget level.
How are things?
You took something from me, Blitzy. Something very important and very powerful. Something I would stop at nothing to get back.
Isn't your place, like, massive? I mean, couldn't it be in your 10th or 11th library?
You don't think I know what you're doing? I see right through you, Blitzy. You took my grimoire so you'd have an excuse to come see me again and ravish me like...
Yeah, there we go. There's the turn. Very good. Speaking of things that animators get to have fun doing, we said it before, but Stola's... There's a hand pervert working on Stolas in every episode that he's in. The little twirl of the wire. I think there's actually a clipping error here a little bit. Well, yeah, you can see how the outline of the finger actually disappears there. I think that's a clipping error in the compositing, but that doesn't matter. Like, there's a hand pervert working on Stolas every time he's on screen.
Something from me, Blitzy. Something very important and very powerful.
Like, they're really relishing that shit. I want whoever's animating the hands on Blitz, I want them to take a crack at animating some Hollow Knight characters. I just want to see it. Right? It's not just that he closes his hand, right? It's that he does that little flourish, and then that gradual closing of the fingers, right? Like, there's an obsession here with the motion and sensuality of hand motion. And what an aesthetic contrast. Like, they're employing a good comedic aesthetic contrast here as well, right? That we go from, like, this shot with all of this, like, darkness and soft shadows, closed in, very thin line work, right? Like, look how thin the line work is here. And then we cut to Blitz in the comedy scene, much thicker line work, right? Like, much more blocky, no gradients, basically. Like, very, very few gradients, very few shadows, just very flat shaded. Bonk. It's good contrast work. Like, that's just good cinematography. That's good directing, right? Like, figuring out, like, okay, we're using the aesthetics of the scene. We're using the way we're rendering it, the way we're approaching lighting in the scene to, like, establish a mood and play with contrast for the purposes of comedy. What, Hermes? What? Yeah, he wants attention. Just a sec. Sorry, he was giving me the dad doesn't love me look from his perch over by the window. again, so much animation work happening with Blitz here. The little speed lines shuffling as he's pulling stuff up from under. And of course, it's all pictures of horses. It's just, God, look how much fucking fun the animator gets to have. Again, the morphing of Blitz's head, right? Like, so much fucking shit happening. Messing with the shape, really using the long line of the horns to emphasize the struggle of the lift.
You don't think I know what you're doing? I see right through you, Blitzy. You took my grimoire so you'd have an excuse.
Like I said, hand pervert. And I mean that exclusively in a positive way. That's as a compliment, entirely a compliment. Hand perverts are the backbone of so much of animation and so much of fan art.
You'd have an excuse to come see me again.
One thing about this style of, like, what we're doing here is, like, we're doing some fairly complex rotation of Stolas' hand, right? He goes from palm facing mostly forward, and then he rotates the hand a little bit so, like, the back of the hand is, like, it's more sideways on. And then we drop down into this, like, forwards foreshortening, poking the hand into the screen, bridging the gap with a smear, or with, like, a little squash and like, a little deformation. And, like, it's really pretty. And on top of that, like, I want to really give props to the technical ability of the animator here, because on top of Stolas doing a fairly complicated hand gesture, he's doing it with a hand that is flat black, right? Like, the hand is, there's no color on it. It's a flat black shape. All they've got to work with to give you volume is, like, a little bit of shading, and then these bright highlights that sort of outline the edges of where Stolas' hand is, right? So they have to communicate that gesture, and they're doing it at the same time as they're managing this fucking phone wire, right? With these little loops on it that they're compressing and like contracting and flipping around to emphasize the gesture. And they're doing it, like, really effectively. That's difficult. Like, that, it's hard enough if you just have a string, right? Like, a string that is, like, just a neutral weight. If you have something that has this, like, elastic weight to it, like this kind of, that's difficult, man.
See me again and ravish me like you did the other night.
Oh, I guess you got me.
Come to my palace right now and claim me. Make my body yours. My bird. Get in. Yours.
Lip sync. Again, I do love when you can tell what a character is saying, right? You can see he's making the F, right, like that, by, like, biting his upper lip down on his lower lip, right? And then, ah, so it's fa. What does that make? Fa. Probably there's oh, shit, fuck. Probably there's a few other syllables after that, right? Like, there's a few other, not syllables, not consonants, phonemes. So, fuck my bird poo. That seems like a plosive, like a full closing of the lip into an ooh sound. So, something. What could he possibly be saying? What could he possibly be saying? I love that we're censoring the actual dialogue of the character, but you can fucking read his lips.
Body yours.
His lips that he doesn't have because he doesn't have lips because he has a beak, but still.
My bird. Get inside me. Go down. Find my. Then I want you to gnaw on me. Tie me up. Me round like a little. Spin me like Daddy's little. Then I want you to. My fountain of, then drink it like a thirsty dog.
Very good. Yeah. Bubble, you can't say that.
Oh, okay, yeah, or yeah, there's that. You know, I'm at work right now, so how about next time, okay? Bye!
Oh, shit.
All right, guys, come on. This is our first hit. We need to do it with some pizzazz.
So this is sort of like, they do this exact same bit in episode 1, Murder Family, right? Like, it's basically the same bit. So again, if this had been the pilot, and then they would have repeated exactly the same bit in Murder Family, exactly the same way, that would probably have been kind of like, oh, that's repetitive. But because the pilot is made so much time after the actual, they can kind of get away with repeating a bit that was relevant at the start of season 1. Even though technically, like, yeah, it's interesting.
Then I want you to.
I want you to what my fountain of what? Like, is that a piss play thing? Is that what we're doing? Even Luna's shocked by that one.
Okay, yeah, there's that. You know, I'm at work right now, so how about next time, okay? Bye!
Love a good smear.
Oh, shit.
And there is a good little bit here, right? Like, Stolas is introduced as this turbo horny fuck monster, right? Like, that's sort of like someone who's way too horny, who's way too into it, right? I do like the framing of this shot. I do like it because it's not actually that horny, right? All of the imagery that's happening here is like, yeah, he wants to fuck me Blitzy, but it's all hearts and candles and rose petals. It's all romance, right? It's all the trappings of a romantic booty call, right? So you get in this shot, I do think you get that sense of like a little bit of that sense of how lonely Stolas is, right? Like how desperate he is for that connection, that it isn't actually just about fucking for him. You get that sense that, like, this is a man who's desperately fucking lonely, who has finally, like, felt intimate connection with someone, and who is absolutely fucking gagging to have more of it, but not just because he's horny. Also because, well, because of that. And a little, like, I'd love the little background thing of like, oh, if you pay attention, you can instantly see, oh, this man has a wife, actually. Or, well, a partner of some kind.
All right, guys, come on. This is our first hit. We need to do it with...
So, like, it is a joke. We're repeating a joke from season 1, but I do, like, there is a bit of storytelling that is hinting a little bit at, like, there's a little bit more going on than just the joke, which, again, looking back at Murder Family doesn't really establish the idea that Stolas wants more than just fucking, right? Like, Murder Family doesn't even really gesture at that. Murder Family is just all, oh, he's horny and he wants to fuck, right? Here, because of that shot, right? Like, that little shot of Stolas, very small in the frame, alone on a bed that is surrounded by the imagery of, like, a romantic fuckfest. You do get a little bit of that sense, right? Like, that little bit of a sense of, like, oh, it's not just he's lonely. Like, this is, he wants that connection for more than just, you know.
Shit.
All right, guys, come on. This is our first hit. We need to do it with some pizzazz, some sparkle. We need to really make a name for ourselves here.
Without drawing attention.
If you're that worried about witnesses, I know how we can get it done.
And now for a bit of the old ultraviolence.
Oh, that was great. Right up until the catchphrase. I said no catchphrases. Mox, back me up.
For the record, it's Millie time is literally perfect.
I do like that Millie, like, because it's Millie's fantasy, none of them have a gun, right? Everyone is using close combat weapons like Millie does. Even Blitz, like Blitz is usually Captain Shotgun, right? But in her fantasy, he's using 2 little knives, and he actually gets in trouble, and she has to save him because it's her power fantasy. I like that. I like that there's that little element of Millie also imagining herself as, yeah, the boys can kill too, but I am queen bitch of Corpse Mountain over here, right? And a reference to the original pilot, for those who remember it. That's the kid. There's an animator having fun with some arcs. Very good. Good acting too. Like, here's Millie, like, I've just murdered a whole bunch of people, I'm about to peg my husband to pieces, and he's just there going, Millie! Good acting. It's good acting. And much better at establishing, again, looking back at the original first pilot, it didn't do a great job of establishing character relationships. It did not do a good job of establishing Millie's character at all. This is doing a much better job. By the way, remember what I said about the horns being kind of like amorphous? Here's Millie's horn intersecting with her upper eyelid. And you don't notice it unless you're paying attention because it works. It works in the gesture, right? But the horns are... right? It's because it's setting up for this, that she's going to look over at Blitz, and then her horn is, like, once again, above her eyebrow. But here, like, the horn is on top of her eyelid, and her eyebrow is on top of her eyelid as well. But it doesn't matter. The stylization covers for it, right?
Right up until the catchphrase, I said no catchphrases. Mox, back me up.
Moxie does not like being touched by Blitz when he's having horny sex fantasies about his wife, clearly.
For the record, it's Millie time is literally perfect. No notes, sweetie. But we can't.
Love a good smear.
But we can't just kill everyone. What about innocents? What about the kids?
Yes, Hermes, okay. He wanted to be let out, now he wants to be let in. He just doesn't like it when a door is closed. He just doesn't like it.
Oh, they're the easiest ones. You barely need any pressure for their next.
Millie, we aren't killing kids, right?
Kill them all!
Good.
No!
No!
Kill them all! Kill them
Blitz.
all!
Kill no
Blitz.
more.
Blitz!
What? Looney Daddy's peer pressuring.
You have a guest in your fucking office. Bye.
Yeah.
Can't just kill everyone. What about innocents? What about the kids?
Oh, they're the easiest ones.
Oh, they're having fun with the mouth shapes on Millie here. Look at the way they move it, right? Like, to change the orientation of her face without really doing it. The mouth is doing so much to inform the directionality of her gestures. Again, horn warping. We're Gokuing her, right? Like, we're doing the Goku thing, which is we're switching from left to right. We're just swapping which horn is occluding, right? Like, boop, 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 teleporting it from left to right on her head. It's so effective. Right, another horn teleport. Zoom, instant transmission. And it's so well managed. Like I really can't overstate enough. Like, that's the thing, is like part of the reason why these character designs look the way they do is because they're drawing from the aesthetic history of highly stylized character design that was always meant to be animated in like the limited animation with like limited amounts of three-dimensionality to them. And these animators are taking these extremely stylized character designs and they're somehow managing to make them work in like full fucking almost Disney style full character animation. I can't overstate enough how fucking impressive it really is that they're able to manage this shit. They can do that. They can fucking teleport a horn from one side of her head to the other like that, and you don't notice it in motion.
Kids.
Oh, they're the easiest ones. You barely need any pressure for their next.
Right? You don't notice it. Like, unless you're paying attention, unless you're looking for it, you don't notice that they're teleporting the horns in a way that makes no fucking sense. It's good.
Their next.
Silly. We aren't killing kids, right?
Kill them all!
No.
Kill them all!
No.
I also do adore this. Again, it's all about setup, right? So far, we have had Blitz as a sort of antagonist to both Millie and Moxie, right? Like, that Blitz has this harebrained idea about an assassination company, and Millie and Moxie are sort of like, Moxie is skeptical. Millie is like, yeah, she's with her husband. Now we get an establishment of why Blitz and Millie are friends is because they're both dangerous, violent assassins who love killing people. And they act together against Moxie when he starts to be a little wiener dog who cares about things like justice and not murdering the innocent and things like that. And we get that sense of like what these two's relationship are like. Why are they friends? Well, because they have some shared proclivities, right? Some shared experiences there. I like that. That's good setup.
No.
Blitz. Blitz.
Again, fucking the furries who work on Helluva Boss also, who get to animate Luna, they're so fucking good at, like, this is a bit of a showpiece for, like, look at that fucking foreshortening. That's so fucking effective. And again, Luna is very much a case of this as well. Like, Luna is also a very highly stylized furry character, right? But then occasionally, when they want to, they boom, all of a sudden her head has like much more three-dimensional volume to it. All of a sudden we're doing a lot more foreshortening. All of a sudden we're like really emphasizing the tooth line and like the depth of the snout relative to the head, that it's poking out like way forward. All of a sudden the furries with a war fetish are starting to have feelings. And then we retreat back into stylization. It's like, it's very effective.
What? Looney Daddy's peer pressuring.
And instantly, these two motherfuckers are horny for each other again. God, again, the acting is so good. There's so much acting happening to establish relationships here. And Blitz with his fucking little... Look at that little sachet of the shoulders. What a good fucking gesture. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but god damn. I didn't expect the pilot, like, especially with the opening moments that we got. Oh god, we're only 6 minutes into this fucking thing. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? Like, the opening here was, like, fine, but it was fine, right? Like, it wasn't really the highest quality character animation I've ever seen. It was just fine. It was decent. It was good. So much of the rest of it has just been straight up fucking impressive character acting.
You have a guest in your fucking office. Bye.
Satan fucking damn it. I'm trying to play
Blitz is short.
plan a hit here. This better be good.
Again, he has brought so much of the imagery of romance with him, right? Here's a little bit of character backstory.
Hello, Blitzy.
Hey, Stolas, what are you doing here?
You said you were busy at work, so I decided to make work a little more fun.
Wow, okay. Not how I thought my day was gonna go. Look, Your Majesty, there are other people here, coworkers, you know, and I don't want to make a scene, okay?
You didn't mind making a scene the last time.
Very nice rotation on Stolas there. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, again, things you just can't get away with in TV animation. Whoop.
Oh, yeah. Got this fucking heavy book. I'm climbing up the railing and I'm losing my balance.
Okay, we're getting that scene again. Very good.
Sorry, I fucked your husband. She's not still mad about that, is she?
Extremely.
Eesh. Oof. I'm so sorry about that.
How about you pump me full of sorry right on this desk?
Oh, I just cleaned that. All right, you know what? Fine. You in. Clothes off. Let's go. Poles out, holes out. Let's get this done in 5 seconds. Take me in, boy. Oh, yeah? You want me? Yeah.
Oh, man. This is one of the things I said about Has-Been Hotel, right? Has-Been Hotel has an explicit... A character in the show is a porn star, right? Like, there's sex work happening in the show. It's like, it's focused a lot around, like, these things. But Has-Been Hotel never really got to be horny, right? Like, it was never really that much there. You gotta, like, there's a horny imagery in Poison, but that's because it's, like, dramatizing this specific complex intersection of, like, Angel's psychology, right? And the way that he's hedonistic but self-punished. Like, it never really got to be horny. I'm very pleased by how fucking horny this pilot is allowed to be. I guess you can do that when you publish it on Prime first, huh? Like, also, they got to decensor all the dicks in what's the episode name? Moxie Dad episode with the fucking dildos and shit. They got to do that. I'm glad of that. Like, one thing I do hope is that because they have the deal with Amazon now, I do hope that having the Amazon deal is gonna allow them to, like, fuck even more with, like, get hornier, get sexier about it, show a little bit more imp ass, you know? I wonder how YouTube is gonna handle, like, hey, YouTube, I'm not gonna have to censor this myself, am I? But I'm glad, like, it feels like they've been allowed to be a lot more horny about it, and a lot more sort of, like, sexually explicit than they have been on YouTube, even. And certainly more than they were allowed to do with Has-Been. And I think Has-Been is not, like, Has-Been is never gonna be that horny because it has a different target audience. It's doing a different thing. But the absence of horny from it, like, I thought it was a minor problem in the show. Like, not a huge one, but just a small one in the way that it handles sexuality. And it's the classic thing. Like, I've complained about this 100 million times. I won't really relitigate it. But it is that thing of, like, it's completely fine to show someone getting their head blown off with a shotgun, but the sight of a woman's nipple, oh, now you have gone too far, right? That's how censorship tends to work, is that violence is broadly normalized, violence is broadly considered neutral, or appropriate, or even wholesome sometimes, whereas any hint of sexuality anywhere gets punished and censored much more harshly. And it's one of the fundamental hypocrisies of our culture. It annoys the piss out of me. I'm glad that Helluva Boss is getting to be as horny as it really ought to be.
Eesh. Oof. I'm so sorry about that.
The fucking...
How about
the little sliding
how about
sound.
you pump me full of sorry right on this desk?
Oh, I just cleaned that. All right, you know what? Fine. You in.
I'm not talking. I'm not saying anything. I'm just watching. I just thought it'd be fun to go through this scene very slowly. Again, I wonder the extent to which YouTube is gonna get upset at me for this. Like, the fucking POV shot is another one of those, like... This is the kind of shot that people animate on website I can't say the name of, but where people who post certain kinds of animations sometimes post that kind of... That's that kind of shot. Like, that's the kind of shot that you'd sometimes get, that POV shot. Like, straight up, like, higher quality and with much more acting focus than you usually get in those things, but like, this is fully a shot that's about enjoying the prospect of Blitz being about to dick you the fuck down from Stolas' perspective. And it's really leaning into it. Like, with the emphasis on Blitz slowly removing his clothes, pulling the belt off, sliding a hand down the thigh, approaching, like, encroaching on space. And there's this increase in animation complexity and model complexity as we, like, add more and more shading. And, like, it's very horny. I approve. I'm pleased that it gets to be fucking horny. And I also, again, like, in terms of storytelling, right? We immediately see this tension between Blitz and Stolas, like the transactional nature of their relationship at this point, right? Where Stolas so clearly is, like, we have this sense of him already that he's looking for connection, right? Like, yeah, he wants to get dicked down. Boy is horny. Boy is catastrophically horny. Boy has never had good sex in his life. He had it for the first time, and now that's, like, sort of half of what he's capable of thinking of. But then on the other hand, there's that, like, he's clearly looking for more. He's clearly struggling to respect boundaries, right? And Blitz, for his part, is also struggling to set boundaries. He's also struggling to have boundaries, right? He's also struggling to navigate it. He's clearly uncomfortable with Stolas trying to establish relationship. And the way that Blitz deals with that is by going, okay, fine, we're doing a transaction. I can play this role, right? So we're essentially seeing a scene of someone doing sex work, right? Like, that's kind of what's happening here, is we can see Blitz becoming much more comfortable when he slips out of his personal role and into the role of, I am the dick slinger, what provides dick to this person, in exchange for I get to use their thing. That's when Blitz, like, can be confident and, like, feel like powerful and be assertive. But all the time when Stolas is trying to, like, emotionally relate to him, like, hold on to him, cuddle him, flirt with him even, you can see how Blitz is, like, he doesn't know how to handle that, right? Like, he's like, I'm being flirted with, I don't know how to handle that. So in order to cope with it, I can go into fuck mode, right? Like, I can go into I am a gigolo mode, right? And then he can sort of handle the scene. And that's the thing that's sort of, like, that's the thing that comes back later in Full Moon, right? Like, that Blitz doesn't have the coping skills or the emotional skills to handle any kind of a relationship except this, right? The moment Stolas wants emotion from him, wants engagement from him, emotional engagement, feelings, something like that, Blitz is uncomfortable. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to act. The moment he can reduce it all into, okay, I'm a gigolo, I'm fucking this guy in exchange for that thing, that's when Blitz can handle it, right? And it's very toxic, as we talked about. It's unhealthy, right? Like, this is an unhealthy relationship dynamic. If you are in this kind of relationship dynamic in your life, consider not being in it, because it's bad for you. It's bad for him. It's bad for Stolas. It's bad for Blitz, right? Because it's a dysregulated relationship between them. They don't want the same thing from it. They are not capable of providing the same things in it, and it's going to lead to, like, the catastrophic series of cascading miscommunications that end in Full Moon and Apology Tour, right? It's bad in real life, entertaining in fiction. Yeah, like, this is not desirable except as a fantasy. And as a fantasy, it's morally neutral. It's a thing of, like, if it translates into real life behavior, that's when shit gets bad.
Oh, did you find it? Yeah, I did find it. Did you find it, my little explorer?
Aren't you supposed to be manning the phone? Or something?
Aren't you supposed to not be gay or something?
Hey, don't listen to the hellhound, hun. You're plenty not gay enough for me.
Thanks, honey. Wait, what? What does that even mean?
Amazing. You are so much stronger than you look.
Oh, well, Well, I'm pretty sure your bones are hollow, so...
Well,
Again, much more effort than you'd usually. The little swinging the legs out, like the... What's it? The offset timing of it. And again, here you can see, like, the shit that they can do with the tail, right? Like, how much the tail can aid in the smoothness of emotion.
well, I best be getting back before the servants worry. I'll just be taking my grimoire and...
Or, how about this? You could let me hold on to it for a little while. Please? There's this one spell I have been wanting to try. Did I not just plow you on company time?
Oh, I suppose as long as you have it, we'll be sure to see each other again. Now, won't we?
Yes, I guess we will.
Well then, alone it is. Until next time, my darling.
Little mess up in the subtitles. Alone, as in loaning something to someone.
Alone it is. Until next time, my darling. Blitzy.
Yeah, until next time. Goddamn son of a bitch. All right, slackers, clock's ticking. Let's get this hit going.
If I may, sir, I think I have the perfect plan.
In position.
Taking out the lights.
Execute.
We Splinter selling it, huh?
It's professional, it's efficient, it's
Boring. Mox, if I had to pick between spending the rest of my...
Fully on some Sam Fisher shit. And I like that. Like, again, as a bit of establishing of character, right? Like, what is each of their fantasies of how they do this? Blitz, and let's actually fucking talk about this, actually, because, like, Millie, it's a fucking bloodbath, right? Like, Millie wants to slaughter. Let's see, where was that? It was somewhere hereabouts. Yeah. Millie is imagining like a slaughter, right? Like absolute carnage, absolute like revel in the blood and guts, rip and tear until it's done, doom aesthetic, pull their hearts out their chests, kill everyone, murder. Like, right? Blitz, on the other hand, how does he treat the hit? Well, he treats it like a circus performance, right? Yeah, someone beat me to it in chat. I was trying to find the footage. For him, it's a performance. It's everyone lands, everyone has places. Blitz does his little choreo, right? His little sashay forward with the gun. Moxie and Millie are like backup dancers swinging around, right? For him, it's a show. It's a performance. He's a clown, right? Like he's a performer at heart. He's a fucking theater kid is what he is, right? Millie wants a bloodbath, and Moxie, he has the shortest scene because what Moxie wants is something clean, something efficient, something with no frills, nothing extra, just boop, 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 goosh, bonk, right? Clean, simple, effective, fast, no frills, no fuss, no muss, no nothing. That's what Moxie wants. And that's establishing their character. How do they themselves imagine the perfect world to be, right? Like, what is, when they fantasize about getting something done and feeling empowered at their work, what does that look like to them? Well, this. And that tells you something about who they are as people, right? Very, very effective use of like, using a fantasy to tell you something about what's it like inside a person's head.
professional, it's efficient, it's
I was supposed to be doing storyboard homework right now. You get back to your homework right now, young man. This is going up on YouTube. You can watch it later. Young man, hang on. I didn't check your pronouns. Young woman, you get back to your fucking homework right this instant. Right this instant. What are you doing?
Boring. Mox, if I had to pick between spending the rest of my... Mox, if...
Another thing about the acting here is there's so much good secondary acting happening, right? Like, the primary action after Moxie has delivered his plan, is Blitz interrupting, boring, and he's the one talking, he's the focus. But there's like this good acting happening between Moxie and Millie in the background, like the little pat on the shoulder. Moxie clearly is like, but my perfect plan. Right? It's good.
Between spending the rest of my career killing people like that or killing myself, I'd be sure to blame everything on you in my suicide note. Now, does anyone have any bright ideas?
Why don't you just wing it?
I love it, Looney. You're perfect and smarter and better than everyone here. All right, team, we're out of time and out of money. Into the portal we go!
Wait, what was that about no money?
Let's go! It's really time!
That's a good backflip. Look at that. And again, like I was talking about, the way that part of the reason why the imps have these long tails is for this. So you can get that long swoop following Millie's motion into like a backflip like that.
Mills, stop, okay? That is never going to catch on.
Oh, this company is fucked.
It's not fucked yet.
Oh, hey! We're getting a metal remix. Very good. Skyen 100% loves it when chat calls him daddy. Only if you do it in the right tone of voice. Fully on some Iron Maiden shit. Very good. Okay, sure. All right. Yeah, very good. Very good. Very good. I recognize that. That's Viv and Brandon Rock. That's right, of course. Yeah, couldn't resist it. Very good. Very good. I'm rewatching that a couple of
Why don't
times.
you
Hang
just
on.
wing it?
I love it, Looney. You're perfect and smarter and better than everyone here. All right, team.
Another little bit of like nice characterization for Luna, right, is Luna makes a suggestion, right? Like she says something, she contributes something, and you can see she has this like, why don't you just wing it? And it's when someone notices that she's contributed, right? Like notices that she said something, is happy that she said something, and is rewarding her with affection and like compliments for having said something. There's this like pull away, right? And of course, it's because Blitz is fucking way too much. But it is also an important part of Luna is like she struggles a lot to accept any kind of affection, right? That's a big part of her character. She has a lot of difficulty with affection. She has a lot of difficulty with bonds and feeling comfortable being cared for or loved by anyone because she's been abandoned so much, right? And failed and been alone, and that is established in her character animation here, in her acting performance, right? That she says something, and when Blitz reacts and notices her and sees her, she gets scared, right? Like that's the first thing that happens. She's scared, and then that fear becomes aggression. Again, things that the show later follows up on extensively. And this is essentially a trailer for the show. Very good. And the Family Guy death pose is also just... Of course it's the Family Guy death pose. Animation memes! Very good. Iron Maiden shit. Very good. Here's a gorgeous little receding fall shot. Very nice. Fully doing an anime intro kind of, well, more of a cartoon intro than an anime intro, really. I wonder if there's other members of the crew that sort of drew themselves into these scenes, if all the victims are maybe like members of the animation team. Dropping a piano on him. Very good. And then there's this. There's a poster of this available, right? Surely. But that's just fully teasing season 1. And then there's that chain pointed directly at Stolas's neck, isn't there? Season 2, too, as well. And Realphys is there. And then there's... Huh. I don't think I recognize who that is, do I? That's a shadowy character hanging out in the background who's not been introduced to us yet, I think. Adult Via? I don't think so? Certainly, her presence there would imply that she's like a villain, basically. That's the other thing to note, by the way. Well, Wally's there as well, but for the most part, the characters in this shot, right, like, they're the antagonists, they're the villains. And I do enjoy that Stolas is part of that lineup. Right? Because Stolas, like, I would argue Stolas and Blitz are kind of antagonists to each other at various points. But I do like that. Like, and it's not just Stolas, like, it's Stolas in his royal garb, right? And again, Verosika is not like an enemy either. Like, she's not evil. She's not an antagonist in the sense that Crimson is. But it is like this, we have our main characters, right? Like, the imps here facing off against these, like, towering figures. It's a gorgeous illustration, too. So what do we have here? Like, I mean, it's Hollow Knight brain rot, right? Like, but all I'm seeing here is a fucking Hollow Knight character. All I'm seeing is a bug. It's like, I can't see it any other way. It must be a bird, right? Like, we would imagine that it's a Goetia of some kind, and that these are like birds of paradise feathers, something along those lines. No beak, though. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, well, I guess this could be a beak, but that doesn't really fit with the head direction. It looks like a bug, doesn't it? But we haven't seen that many bug-themed characters, except as background characters, have we? It's like, I guess Valentino in Has Been is like, he's a moth, right? Outside of that, there just haven't been that many. And if it's a moth, then it's not a Goetia, which means it's a sinner. Which is interesting. Like, are they gonna... Is this an overlord? Is that what we're doing? Goetia aren't all birds. That's true. That's also true. The sin of greed is a spider. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bug, I guess, technically. Are spiders technically bugs? I'm pretty sure that they're counted as a separate category. That doesn't matter. You know, I know what you meant. They're arachnids, right? But I believe bugs is actually a etymological category of creature. Like, I don't think it's the official Latin term, but it is like a category. Mammon is a centipede. He's a spider centipede. He's got some shit going on. I think it's an envy-based demon. Yeah, like greed, I guess, or envy, maybe. Bugs are a specific clade of insects. Yes. I did remember something about that. That, like, not all insects are bugs, which is annoying linguistically. I gotta say, if, like... I hate logos on posters. I don't want to have an art poster with a fucking logo on it, right? Like, that's it's just one of my aesthetic things. I don't like logos. I like art posters. I like things with, but not... I don't want the logo for the thing on the thing. I know some people feel differently. I don't. I don't like it. I would definitely buy an art poster of this, but only if there's no logos on it. No Spindle Horse, no Helluva Boss, no fucking, no nothing. None of it. Just the art, please. But anyway, we're teasing the season, right? Like, so here we have Ozzy, and Fizz. We have a trip to the human world, right? Like, where Brandon Rogers, if you remember, is sort of kind of technically a character in the human world of the show. Or a parody version of him, anyway. It would be funny if there was an actual dossier here. That's a lovely swinging animation from Luna. At the wedding, too. Nice. Oh, Moxie is officiating. We never get to see who that human is, but I guess they're dead, so it doesn't matter. A lot more very good character animation in this one than I expected. Anyway, we'll just read the credits, because I feel like they deserve it. As usual. Void. Oh, that's a cool fucking name. Sheen. Nice. That's another cool name. A lot of cool names. And I mean, you can tell that there was a lot of animators working on this, because goddamn, like... If this episode is like a preview of the level of casual quality that's going to be in Helluva Boss Season 3, then just as an animation aficionado, as the kind of pervert that I am, I'm excited. Because, God, there was a lot of just character acting, just characters getting to act, and it was like over the top and cheesy, and like it wasn't exactly subtle, naturalistic acting or whatever, but it was just animators getting to act through their characters. It was lovely. Cyber. God. They just get to have cool names at Spindle Horse, I guess. Right, that's right. I forgot about that. The original Imp jingle was Perry Grip. Of course it was. Jesus Christ. I keep forgetting about that. Like, goddamn. Perry Grip is a man responsible for too many earworms. Like, there's something dangerous about his mind. Nom 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 nom. I can't see that man's name without having that come into my fucking head. As ever, special shout out to the compositors. Just because, like everyone is crucial to the look of a show like this, but compositors are especially fucking important to making a show look good. I really hope that the level of character animation and acting happening here, like it was only like 12 minutes long or 11 minutes long-ish, but I really do hope that this is the bar of animation quality for character acting that they're going to try and stick to, because
Find it? You find it, my little explorer? Yes.
Aren't you supposed to be manning the phone or something?
And
just like
Something?
aren't you supposed to not be gay or something?
Hey,
for inconsequential background bits like this,
don't listen to the hellhound, hun. You're plenty not gay enough for me.
I really hope so. Like, there's just so much good character acting. And, like, as a plot thing, right? Like, it was a lot of exposition, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? Like, this is supposed to be the exposition episode that sets things up for the season to come, right? And in that sense, it's effective enough. Like, if someone's new to the show, they need a quick introduction to what the fuck's going on and what's happening, this is effective, right? Like, it gets the job done. It establishes enough that you could probably start watching from season 2 and you would probably be okay. Like, you could probably figure out, like, you could probably sort of follow along with it. I'd recommend watching season 1. But it's like, it does that job very effectively. It does mean a lot of it is kind of clunky. A lot of it is kind of like, if you've watched the show, it's just telling you a million things you already know, right? Like, which is, you know, awkward of watching the pilot that was produced after the show, after having watched the show itself. So, like, certain elements of it just aren't that interesting from a dramatic perspective, especially for someone who already is familiar with the show. But for the function that's supposed to have, it's very good. And like I said, like, there is a lot of like storytelling that happens, like this shot especially. There's a lot of storytelling that happens that is like subtle and does trust the viewer to intuit the dynamic of what's going on, right? Like, and which does give us information that like feels useful, right? Like, for example, just establishing what the relationship between Millie and Blitz is like, just doing that, God, that does so much more for Millie's fucking character than the pilot ever did, because it gives her a personality outside of just being the loving wife of her husband, right? Like, this pilot does such a better job of establishing Millie as a character, of making her a character outside of just being the girl one, than the pilot ever did. And like most of like a bunch of the episodes of season 1 could also learn to take a lesson from that. She's so much more of a person. She's so much more of a character, so much more of an equal to the rest of them in terms of being weird and having neuroses and being problematic and kind of fucked up. There's a lot of good storytelling. There's a lot of good acting happening here. There really is. Yeah, like, props to the team. Like, if you're gonna make a pilot after the fact, this is a pretty good one. Family Guy death pose. Jesus fucking Christ. It's such an animation meme. Like, I don't begrudge it. It's funny. It's just... Oh, man. Ironically, this might be the best Millie episode. Nope, that's still Camp Campers. Or the The one where they go to summer camp. That's still the best Millie episode. Anyway, that was pretty good. I hope season 3 can live up to it. I really do. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 etc. Become a member of the channel to get early access to things when they happen on this channel. Or don't. You don't have to. It's fine. Everything comes out for everyone eventually. Everything does. If there's something that's online for members only, it will come out for everyone eventually, unless I've said otherwise somewhere. You can trust me on that. Even if it says members only, it will come out. Please don't bother me about it. It's all right. Anyway, thank you. Bye.